Greetings, humans. Welcome to the Wizard's Workshop, and today, this video, we are going to be making this holster right here for my multi-tool, so that when I am working backstage, I have a place for my tool to rest that isn't going to jab into me. That's why I put that little nifty thing right there, and it'll be able to hold my keys too. So yeah, welcome to the Wizard's Workshop. Thanks for being here. I have this little bag here that I have put everything in. The problem is that it is Velcro in the front. Yeah, that sound isn't great, especially backstage. But also, if you take a look right here, this is where the Velcro actually ends. But this has all been torn up because of that. That means this isn't going to last me very long. I do like where the flashlight is, because I can click on that and even have it operational even when it's still holstered. Here's the problem, is that even though I've been working in the shop a lot, I realized that I've been using my multi-tool quite a bit, and I don't like having this on my belt. It's not that comfortable, it's kind of bulky, and so I'm going to be working on a holster for not only my multi-tool, the flashlight, but also this handy knife as well. Now what I've done so far is I've drawn out on a piece of cardboard what I want the shape to look like. So here's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to be cutting these out of some wood in my pocket. This is my kind of everyday carry thing that goes in my pocket. I have my flashlight on here. I have a pen, a little space pen. Then I also have my chapstick. Now, this is plastic. And I don't know if you can see, but right here, it's kind of already worked its way through. So I don't want my multi-tools to be working their way through the leather as well. So what I have is I have a scrap piece of Kydex, which is a thermoplastic material. I'm going to be heating this up and shaping them just to cover the bottom sections of these pieces, so that as they go in and out, they're not going to wear through the bottom. Let's see here. Whew. Please excuse my mess here, but I am in the process of actually building my workshop. My intention here is what I'd like to do is have these tools on my belt and have them kind of like sideways like that, so that it doesn't have such a high profile on my weight. So the knife fits. Ooh, maybe. Ooh, that's a good observation there. Okay, so they fit pretty all right. Now, let's see, will it slide out? I see. Okay. Well, oh, okay, because I didn't cut that straight. Actually, I didn't cut that straight. See, there's the line there. Yeah. Maybe I should cut that straight. Then again, I don't really need to cut that straight, because this will give me more to grip with the clamps. So the idea of having a frame like this is to have your object, and then the leather goes between it, or the material goes between it, and then you press this down over the leather or the material, and so that will actually help to form the shape that you're trying to make. Now, because it's going to be doing that, that means that this bottom corner is going to be pressing really hard into whatever the material is. You might actually tear it, so you got to be very careful rounding this corner so that as it presses down, it's not going to be sharp of an edge. All right, let's heat it up. So when working with a thermoplastic, there's a couple things that you're going to need. First of all, a heat gun. Also, because it is going to get very hot, you're also going to need some gloves. I've got some clamps here that would shut down so I can squeeze it tight. And hopefully this will give me a good base. this. Yeah, look at that. Well, that's not bad. Well, I can't be using my tools now for a little bit, but I think that's a pretty good start. And it is cool to the touch. So, look at that. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. All right, what's the deal here?
Mr. Ray, you do know that they make these belt tool sheaths for sale, right? You go to the Amazon, look at that. There's a bunch of them there.
Oh crap.
You're not even looking.
Okay. So that needs to come off.
You could buy one, you know, instead of making one.
So as you probably saw, I was having trouble taking it out because of this piece right here. It's curved over where it needs, where the knife actually belongs. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out on the bandsaw so that this way, well, it's not going to get stuck anymore. Well, crap.
Look at that. It's $20. $20 and you wouldn't have to work on that anymore.
Okay. So what this is looking like is that there is actually a taper that goes, so it's narrower here than it is down here. I mean, it's reflected in this itself, so I guess that means that this part here actually needs to be straighter.
It's free delivery.
That fits, okay. It's just a knife.
I then make one that can even hold your keys.
Okay, so that means that the opening here actually needs to be wider to accommodate the, okay. Alright, so let's heat that up and I guess try it again. Actually, let's go ahead and cut this a little bit wider and a little bit straighter so that taper doesn't happen.
You're still gonna make that, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and add that onto the cart.
Give me a break. There we go. So I just cracked the wood there. That's not good. But I think it'll hold for at least the remainder of this project. It's not bad.
Good day, Mr. Ray. Are you still working on that tool holder for your belt?
Yeah, I'm still working on it.
Look, it came in the mail. It's the one from Amazon. Check it out.
Oh, thank you. Oh. Let's take a look. Well, it's flat. Let's go ahead and put the multi-tool in there. Okay. That multi-tool pocket is actually quite large. And then look at that. So my knife needs to go in this pocket here, and it doesn't fit. There's also a secondary problem with this, is that if you notice, in order for it to curve to your body, you see that right there, it's actually bowing here, and it's really tight on the front. Now, I've seen these on Etsy, and what they took into consideration, at least the Etsy makers did, is to give extra leather on the front so that when it curves to your body, that there's more leather in the front and less leather in the back, so it will actually give you this nice curve. It looks like, and based on the packaging that confirms it, it looks like somebody saw some Etsy makers making these, took the basic design and sent it out of country to have them cheaply made. And this is what we get, because this is a flat form for a large item to be put in there. Also, it looks like, so this stitch here between these two pockets is actually supposed to go in the middle where this pen holder is, and it's not there. They actually just stitched it in the same one right here along this line. The point to having this pen pouch between these two pockets is that there's a natural divot between the items. So yeah, this is not going to work at all.
Oh, okay.
This is honestly the reason why I wanted to custom make my own, so that I can alter it to fit my particular needs.
Wait, so you can custom make your stuff to fit your needs?
You know, I'm not really sure about the movement right here. I may have to heat that up again. It seems to be like tapering towards the inside there, and those sides I feel need to be more straight. Hey Bob.
G'day.
What you doing?
Well, I'm gonna make new friends.
You know what? I'm not even mad. I'm actually kind of impressed. The Kydex is cooled. It is reshaped with this so that the insides have a smoother, that seems to work better, the smoother sides there. I've cut out these holes here to help reinforce my belt. So when it goes on my person, that is, the belt will go through there. Now, I've gone through, while that was cooling, I went through my scraps of leather, and what I have here is I have a slightly thinner piece of leather, and I think I'm going to use that for the front, and then I want to use a slightly thicker piece of leather on the back. This will go up against my body, so if I bend or contort in that direction while I'm climbing ladders or something like that backstage, I'll at least have some protection between me and sharp edges of my tools. Well, seems like I cracked the hell out of this, which is going to be difficult for the next part, which is wet forming the leather to this shape here. Difficult, but not impossible. Alright, I guess let's get this soaking wet. We're going to do the same thing that we did here on these to this. I guess now we let that dry. It's dry. Alright. Well, that, my friends, I think I would call that success. I guess let's get some scissors and cut this out. Under where the wood was holding it down, it's still very moist. Yeah, I think I'm going to put that in front of the... You see these like dark speckly things? I have no idea where those came from. Ha! The ink transferred over. Oh, you know what I could do? I can go ahead and put my maker's mark on that. Leather tools. I didn't cut all the way through the leather, did I? Ah, crap. It's in there now. Kind of upset, but I don't know why. I guess I'm going to put that in front of a fan and let it dry, and then work on some other projects while it's drying. Sometimes my projects actually make it inside the house with me. I'm going to be watching Netflix while I do this saddle stitch. So my intention is, at least this is the thought process that I've been going through, is that I want to glue the Kydex to the inside of the wet formed leather. And I'm going to be doing that with some contact cement. Even the permanent glue is not always permanent, because over wear and use it's going to wear out, and I want to have some redundancies in place so that when that happens it doesn't just fall apart. I'm talking a lot. Let's get to the doing. This is continuation of multi-tool sheath. So last I left you on the multi-tool sheath, I don't remember what we were doing. I honestly don't. What I do remember, what I do know, is that I continued doing a little here and a little there between all these other projects that I've been working on. And now here's where we are. I am neurodivergent, and my particular brand of neurodivergence is ADHD. And so one of the things that I struggle with is projects, just continuing projects, especially, I don't know, I think filming helps me a little bit, but what I've done is basically every little chance that I get that I start to think about this, I'll pick it up and do a little here and a little there. I did one thing and was like, I'll just explain it later in the video. And I did like several other things like that in which I just didn't come back. So here we are. Sorry, not sorry, but I did get some more done. I glued with contact cement the leather to the Kydex. I then got this nifty little belt loop here, and I stitched that down. I stitched down the center. I glued down the second part of the leather, and then I put it all together, and I finished the project. I even have these little holes right there so that I could put my little seatbelt looking thing that clips on for my keys. However, I realized after I basically finished it the first time that this is not sufficient, because this part right here is way too thin, and subsequently just it cracked. With all that being said, because of how wide this is now, how just going on my hip, this has to be curved. And honestly, I don't think I need my utility knife, and if I do, I'm sure I can make another secondary holster, or I'll just put it in my fancy tool belt thingamajig. The one tool that I do need is that multi-tool there, and this one's going to be useful for me. So what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to take off as much leather as I can, reheat this, flatten it out, and then I'm going to make a belt hole on this side that lines up with this one, and then I'll cut off this part here so that it will just be this. And to shape it the way that I want it, I need to basically unbuild it. For those of you who've ever worked with contact cement before, some of you may have seen drying with a heat gun. I have been made aware by a good puppet making friend of mine, don't do that, because the enemy of contact cement is heat. If you use a heat gun to dry the glue near it, it will actually, you'll see those seams open up again. So that's actually a good way to unglue your seams. So if you're going to use any drying air, use a hair dryer. Use it on the cool setting. Don't use a heat gun. Be it that I have glued this down with contact cement and I want to unglue it, this is exactly what I'm going to do. So I've marked two positions here with this purple thread as to how wide that belt loop needs to be. Here we go. So I need the hole to be on the outside of this stitching. First cut will be here. Noise. Here we go. Here we go. Yay. And we now got a belt loop. If you heat up your Kydex, it almost makes it like trying to cut through leather. That was relatively easy. Over here, I had a little clip that I put holes in so that I could put my key clip on this. I actually kind of like that, and I see here where I may have some space to do that. Okay, so I got my thick leather belt just because I don't want any issues when I go to put this together. So I got my thickest one because I don't want to fight with the plastic. That is now what we're going to be fixing. Oh shit, everything's smoking. Okay. Smoke it! The other thing that I've noticed is that with this Leatherman, when I slide it into the holster, this part digs into my my love handles just a little bit. I need to put in a circle of leather on the back side of that so that at least I have some sort of padding against my person, so my love handles don't get chafed so damn much. Maybe I do cut out some of the Kydex there because I want support, but I also don't want to block my pocket. I will have to test that out on myself. I'm trying to round the edges of the Kydex around where the belt hole is. It has been a minute or so since the last time I saw that little clippy thing, so I'm actually going to go inside the house and try to find that piece. Hopefully what you're going to see in the very next clip is going, hey, I found it. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of impressed with myself because I literally just walked in, found it, and then I took my hoodie off because I'm getting a little toasty now. See, with part of my particular brand of neurodivergence, I have what is referred to as object permanence, a problem with object permanence, which is basically means like right now on this desktop, on my bench top, I have this piece of silicone mat that I just flipped over. I don't remember what I put under there. I don't remember what was there. And because this is covering it now, in my mind, doesn't exist. So because I will often just put things down where I'm working in order to get to the next step. If anything covers it, I don't remember where it was. So yeah, I will drop this, and this actually happened to be under something, but I remembered kind of where it was. So not only am I impressed with myself that I found it, but I'm also really impressed with myself that I actually found it, because that doesn't happen as quickly as it just did. Now I'm just gonna walk around the house with my dopamine rush there. So this is a tool that cuts down the edges, and that's what I'm gonna do right now. Cut down the edges of the leather here. Just let me heat this up again. I need a smaller. Be careful when you're dealing with plastics, because plastic has this weird tendency to grip, and just let it all go. You don't want it to let go at the wrong time, because then that tool goes sailing into your flesh. I don't know if you've been told, but every single blade bites, and they haven't been fed. So they're hungry. All right, this is coming together quite swimmingly. The last one I had 4 holes. I think I only went 3 on this one. Do I even want that? Could just put it through the leather. Yeah, I'm just gonna stitch it through the leather here. Well, that has. Let me just set that on the floor real quick. I'm going to go ahead and wrap my Leatherman tool and push it into this position here. See how it just sticks out just a little bit. That's just enough to be poking me in the most annoying of ways. My plan is I have these half rounds and quarter round bits here, and I'm going to get the bigger size for the circle that I'm going to put in, and then the smaller size, that doesn't make any sense. The smaller size is going to go here on the actual what leather is currently there. The larger size is going to be the coin of leather that I'm going to attach. So that way it will overlap. Sewing it to the back of this will also give me just a little bit more space to put my thumb in to grab it and pull it out of the holster. Do I have this much leather? I have barely enough leather from this piece to go with this large one. So this is, by default, I think this is the size I'm gonna have to go with. Let's poke some holes. I have stitched on the circle, the padding circle here. I've also stitched on this key holder. Now you may notice some extra leather just kind of hanging out the top here. I just put an extra layer in there to give it some extra padding, so while I'm shaping it, it gives it just a little bit more wiggle room. Sometimes you don't want that tolerance to be so tight. Let's finish up the stitching. Got to do the edges. This is a buffing stick, and so all you really have to do with this is to put just a little bit of wax on the seam line there. You take your buffing stick and it rounds over the edges there, and so I will be going over these remaining edges. That needs some dye on it. There we go, some Pro Dye Black. And this, you want to wear you some gloves, because this ish gets everywhere. And there it is. That is the tool holster that I wanted to make for myself. Something that I'm probably going to be using every day backstage, just to hold my Leatherman tool, my multi-tool, and my keys. Little Batman logo on it. Well, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, that little bell icon, so that you know the next time that I upload a video. You will see in the description some of the tools that I've used. I've got some affiliate links in there. So if you like something, if there's a tool that you see and you think that could help you out when you're making your things, go ahead and hit that link, put it in your Amazon cart, and part of the proceeds from that sale doesn't up your thing at all, but will help me out and help this channel out and actually making some really cool videos and cool content in the future. Thank you so much. Hang in there and keep making.